Hello everyone, this is Jemima from Bombay Supplying Agency Private Limited, India. In this video, I'll be showing you how to use one of the most widely used tools to measure the inner diameter, that is the bore gauge. Bore gauge is one of the most inexpensive and yet one of the most accurate ways to measure the inner diameter of a component. It is important to note that the bore tail gauge is a comparative tool where we can set the nominal value and measure the deviation in a component. Let's see how to use a bore gauge. In this video, we'll be using a BTSA bore tail gauge 511701. It has a measuring range of 18 to 35 mm. This is the main stem. This is the measuring head. One side it has a spring-loaded plunger and the other side a provision for interchangeable anvils. These are the interchangeable anvils 18 mm, 20, 22, so on up to 32 and 34 mm. These are the washers 0.5 and 1 mm. It is used to achieve the desired size. Any plunger dial gauge of 8 mm stem can be used with this bore gauge. Now let's measure a hole of 20 mm by using a digital as well as an analog plunger dial gauge. Now I have fixed an analog plunger dial to the stem of the bore gauge. The least count of the plunger dial is 1 micron. Since my diameter is 20 mm, I am going to select a 20 mm anvil and fix it to the head. In case if you have a 21 mm diameter, select the 20 mm anvil and 1 mm washer so that it can fix the desired size. If the reading in the dial is increasing, it means that the diameter is decreasing. If the value on the dial is decreasing, it means diameter is increasing. For example, now I'll plunge. It moves in the clockwise direction. It means that the diameter is reducing. Now let's measure a component of approximately 20 mm diameter. Initially set the bore gauge to 0 by using a setting ring gauge. This setting ring gauge has the value of 19.99 mm. In case if you don't have a setting ring gauge, you can also use a micrometer to set it to 0. But we highly recommend you to use a setting ring gauge for its better accuracy. Insert the bore gauge in the setting ring gauge. Rock it back and forth. Find the maximum value and set it to 0. Check for its repeatability. Now repeat the same procedure on the component. Remember, when the value is moving in the positive direction, it means the diameter is decreasing. It is 2 divisions apart. Our nominal value is 19.999. That means our observed value, that is the diameter, is 19.997 mm. Now we are going to measure this component by using a digital plunger dial. We have used Measuring 543300. It has 2 advantages. One is you can preset the value. Since the setting ring gauge is of 19.999, you can preset that value here and then check the component. The other advantage is you can change the direction. Let's see how to preset the value. This is the preset button. Hold the preset button. Click edit. Since our value is 19.999, set the value. Now press OK. Now our value is set. The second advantage of this plunger dial is by changing the direction. When the plunger moves up, usually the value increases. By using this option, press the menu button. You will find an arrow mark. It means the direction has changed. Now while plunging it upward, the value decreases. Now let's measure this component. For that, let's set the nominal value of the setting ring gauge in the bore gauge. Insert the bore gauge in the setting ring gauge. Rock it back and forth. Check for the minimum value. Preset now. Press the preset button.
hold it. Now press OK. Now our value is preset. Cross verify it and check for the repeatability. Now our value is correct, 19.999. Now let's check it on the component. Now the diameter of this gauge is 19.995 mm. There is another option in this plunger dial, that is you can freeze the value in minimum. For that, press the peak button. Now it will change to TIR. Press it again. It will change to max. Press again. It will change to minimum. Now press start. It will start recording our values. Now we can see the value frozen on the screen. So this is the diameter of this gauge, 19.995 mm.
I hope you found this video informative. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel for more such informative videos. I'll meet you with another interesting video, and for more details visit www.btsa.in.